on News 4. New allegations of teacher sex abuse inside one of D.C.'s most famous schools.
Two former students told the News 4 I-Team that the same teacher abused them at Duke Ellington School of the Arts nearly a decade apart.
Jodie Fleischer has been investigating for 3 months and reveals questions about how complaints to the school, the district, and even to police were handled.
This teacher's name has not been made public until now, as these two young women share their stories for the first time. They each describe feeling alone and ashamed for years, while they say investigators failed to interview them, their friends, or even the adults who worked inside this prestigious school.
It ruins your whole life. It ruins it.
These two young women didn't know each other or even that the other existed.
There's like a certain level of shame that will keep silence going on for a very long time.
But in breaking that silence, they learned their accounts of sexual abuse by the same teacher are eerily similar.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Williams. I'm the chair.
For years, Mark Williams served as chair of the Literary Media and Communications Department at Duke Ellington School of the Arts, influential and revered. This young woman says she was drawn to him and his program before her junior year.
He thought I was this brilliant, talented writer. And, you know, I thought the world of him.
Shortly after enrolling, she says he told her she needed extra help to catch up to her peers.
He wanted me to come by myself to his classroom/office where he would be alone.
She says there were regular late-night phone calls.
By that time, he had asked me to write more and more personal, intimate details about my life.
Then she says Williams began sending her writings of his own, of a sexual nature.
Describing in very graphic detail himself and another woman. He really wanted to know what I thought about them.
She says it quickly advanced from sexual writing to a sexual relationship, meeting the married father of two in his car after school, then a motel room. The principal from that time told the I-Team she received a complaint from a concerned parent and placed Williams on administrative leave, reporting him to the school district for investigation.
He asked me to delete every email he had ever sent me. He asked me to call him from payphones only. I couldn't live with myself if I would ruin his life, you know, the man I thought I was in love with.
The I-Team obtained this police report from November 2004, showing the school also asked D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department to investigate an alleged sexual relationship, noting she was not of consensual age. The student remembers someone coming to her door one Saturday, but doesn't know if he was with the police or the district.
He asked me about the relationship and what had happened, and he said, I don't really care what you're doing. It's just against school policy.
Nothing about criminal law.
Oh, absolutely not.
She says there was no forensic interview. She denied everything, and the man left. But she says the agony of what her teacher did to her never did.
It never stops. It gives you nightmares for the rest of your life.
She says he was back in class her final semester, and their relationship continued into college. In 2008, once she ended it, she says he sent this email calling her beloved, saying, "I love you so very much," even apologizing for her being a secret. She never thought about coming forward until she realized there could be others.
He invited me to take a playwriting class with him.
This young woman says nearly 10 years later, Mark Williams approached her at school when she was 15 and recruited her to switch from acting to writing.
Because I was a latecomer to the department, I was told that I had a lot of catching up to do, and the way to catch up was to have one-on-one private sessions with him.
She says behind the locked door of a classroom, he asked her to write about intimate details of her life, then shared his own sexual writing, preying on her vulnerability. She says their meetings moved to his car, then a motel room.
There was a point where I at the very beginning, when I had tried to stop it, because I had the sense that, like, no, you're a father figure to me.
She says it continued for about 2 years. She told no one until 2018, when she confided in her ex-boyfriend from high school. He tells the I-Team he then sent this email to more than 100 school leaders, teachers, and former students. The subject line, Mark Williams is a rapist and a predator.
I was not at a point where I felt like I could do it for myself, and so while I really did not appreciate how it was done at the time, I think ultimately it was the right thing to do.
The school placed Williams on administrative leave again and again reported him to the school district and police. Though her friend didn't disclose her name, she felt certain she'd hear from investigators because of the details he shared.
I thought that inevitably someone would figure it out.
So did Kirsten Johnson, a former student who once revered Williams as a mentor until she saw that 2018 email shared on social media.
But I remember reading it and knowing in my gut that it was true.
She said she never witnessed abuse as a student and lacked the training to even look for it when she returned to the school as a teacher in Williams' department. But thinking back, she quickly suspected who it was.
I'm like, look at the relationships. Look at the relationships that look like your relationship. Find the one that was off. And I found it quickly. And it broke my heart.
Now a successful playwright in New York, she says despite having taught in the writing department when the alleged abuse happened, no one ever questioned her. This 2018 police report listed only an unknown female. A police spokesperson told the I-Team, at this time, we have explored all available leads.
I feel like they didn't try very hard. Does that mean it ends because you can't? There's still a victim to be found.
The I-Team found her after just a few hours of research and with one phone call.
There's something empowering about knowing that he has to face the truth of it.
A Duke Ellington spokesperson told the I-Team school leaders never identified who she was because MPD said not to question students or teachers. Williams resigned in January 2019 while under investigation. He did not return the I-Team's repeated calls or emails seeking comment about the two cases nearly a decade apart. He has never been charged.
Had they really investigated, there was evidence of the relationship, right? You guys were emailing, you were calling.
Piles and piles and piles, yes.
She's now suing the school and the district, saying they violated Title IX, a federal education law which requires a full investigation and protections for victims. DCPS told the I-Team it has no records of any investigations of Mark Williams, not from 2004 or 2018. It's unclear whether anyone even remembered the older case when the new one surfaced.
I really trusted the people who worked there a lot. And it upsets me that nothing about this was really taken seriously.
So what's supposed to happen when allegations like this surface? Tomorrow on News 4, an MPD commander answers that question and talks about where this investigation stands now. Plus, we'll show you how a troubling pattern involving other teachers prompted action from another former student and changes inside this school. Jodie Fleischer, News 4 I-Team.
If you have any information about this story or any other teacher, the I-Team would like to hear from you. You can email them tips@news4iteam.com, or you can call the tip line at 202-885-44